This is my create mod Bonemeal farm. It fits within one chunk of space, produces about 5,000 bone meal per hour by the standard vanilla type stone conversion into moss technique. As you can see here, the entire 5 by 14 block area of stone is pulled across and generated in one go, and then retrieved by the linear chassis here. The drops are picked up by the contraption, and once it's done being broken, they fall down into this buffer chest where the cobblestone is sorted out and voided, and the compostables move down the chute across the line of 12 composters into this buffer chest, and from here into 4 different outputs, 3 of which go to each of the actual dispensers that dispense the bone meal, and 1 as the actual machine output here, which I can just grab from like so. Each dispenser has a stockpile switch that will request bone meal when it gets low, so they all stay topped up. But the great elegancy of this machine is that it is completely powered by this single water wheel, because all of the moving mechanisms are gantry contraptions. And the great thing about gantry shafts is they do not consume any stress. So all you need to do is pipe in 256 RPM of power, and that can be just geared up from a single water wheel. As you see here, you don't even need a rotational speed controller. This build is intended to consume the absolute minimal amount of materials. So as you can see here, all the circuitry is done with actual redstone lines, and not redstone links and other brass consuming components. The only brass consuming components in this entire build are these 2 brass funnels here, which are required to filter the items, but everything else is just a standard redstone or create component. It's the only brass in the whole thing. Here you can see this whole glass area has to move back and forth. That is to clear away any vegetation that may have generated on top of these moss blocks, because that will stop the conversion of the stone into moss. A slight inefficiency of this farm, as you can see, is it does not collect the seeds from all the grass, the tall grass that spawns on top of these blocks, which does present a little bit of a lag issue as well, but it's not too significant, so you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. However, if you are running several of these farms, it could become some of a concern. So what I recommend in that case is that you can use a fan with running in reverse with a nozzle on it over here above the lava that pulses on and off on a timer, a clock, in order to just kind of suck up all these seed items and just drop them into the lava here so they don't accumulate. And as for the bottom section here, it's not too much of a problem either. But yeah, I mean, you can greatly reduce the amount of seed items just by adding a fan up here, because all the item entities as they spawn will get pulled over as long as the fan is on while the machine is this part of the machine is moving. So you can actually trigger the fans using the system here. You can probably just add a redstone torch off the back of this redstone contact. So whenever this redstone torch is off, then the clutch on the fan is also turned off, so it won't run for you. But that is an optional enhancement, is not required. The item pileup is really not that bad, and the efficiency loss from not having the seeds is not great, because the seeds are so inefficient at actually producing bone meal. So there you go.